Welcome to Time of Death. This video is for informational purposes and in no way meant to glorify or condone violence. In today's video, we'll be discussing the murder of Carlos Segovia Lopez. Segovia Lopez died on Monday, September 19, 2016, after he was shot in the 2100 block of West 31st Street in Jefferson Park, according to LA County coroner records. Ricky Valente, Esaú Rios, and Oscar Aguilar were subsequently arrested and charged with the murder. The following is the evidence at trial. On the night of September 16, 2016, Carlos Segovia was in his car leaving his girlfriend's house when he saw Oscar Aguilar, Esaú Rios, and Ricky Valente peering into a parked car. Segovia called his girlfriend Kimberly Perez and told her some youngsters were snooping into her mother's car. Perez overheard Segovia ask the man to step away from the parked car. One of the men responded, "What the fuck, you're not from around here?" Perez also heard Segovia say, "Don't worry about where I'm from, I don't rep anything." Perez was able to hear some cursing before the call ended. She recalled Segovia's tone was stern while the other men sounded aggressive. During the exchange, Valente walked down the street away from the group. Segovia followed Valente and pulled his car to the side of the road to speak to Valente through the open driver's side window. While they were talking, Oscar Aguilar ran near where Valente was standing and shot Segovia once in the head. Segovia died 3 days later as a result of a gunshot wound. In the days following the shooting, an LAPD homicide investigator obtained security camera footage from several businesses in the area. One of the videos, recorded at approximately 11:30 p.m. the night of the shooting, depicted 4 men running around the corner from the direction of the shooting, followed by a 5th man walking. The homicide investigator was able to track the men to a particular house, which he later identified as the home of Valente and his brother. On November 10, 2016, police detained Rios, Aguilar, and Valente in connection with the shooting. Valente was interviewed first, and he initially said he didn't know anything about the shooting. However, after an hour of questioning and being shown the surveillance footage, Valente admitted he witnessed Aguilar shoot Segovia. At the conclusion of his interview with police, Valente was placed in a cell with Rios for approximately 1 hour. Rios was then questioned and shown the surveillance video, after which Rios was placed in a cell with Aguilar, who had not yet been questioned by police. Police recorded the conversation between Rios and Aguilar with the hidden microphone. Excerpts of that conversation were played for the jury. While in the jail cell, Rios told Aguilar that Valente had confessed to witnessing the shooting, stating, "He already fucked it up. That fool Ricky, man, that fool fucked up. But this dumbass threw everything." Rios explained the police had told him he was being arrested for murder. Aguilar responded that Valente should go to Mexico so he wouldn't have to testify. Rios then told Aguilar, "You should have just left him alone." Later, Aguilar said, "They're gonna see that they got the wrong people," and the men laughed. On the night of September 16, 2016, Valente, Aguilar, and Rios were at Aguilar's house with Valente's brother, Kevin Valente, and Valente's 2 cousins. The men were drinking beer and smoking marijuana. Valente testified he was drunk, and he believed Aguilar and Rios were also drunk because they couldn't walk straight. At some point, the group decided to leave Aguilar's house and go to Valente's house a few blocks away. Valente walked to his house with Rios and Aguilar. Valente testified he knew Aguilar had a gun because the group had been discussing it and handling it earlier in the evening. As they were walking, Segovia drove up alongside them and said in an aggressive tone, "You guys better not be fucking with these cars." Valente responded they were not disturbing the cars and continued walking. Aguilar and Rios stayed to talk to Segovia. Valente heard Rios ask Segovia, "Where you from?" Valente understood Rios to be asking Segovia whether he was a gang member. Segovia answered, "I'm from nowhere." Valente then heard Rios tell Aguilar, "Pop that shit off." He heard the click-clack sound of the slide on the handgun being pulled back to load a bullet into the chamber. At that point, Segovia drove down the street and stopped alongside Valente, who hid behind a parked car because he thought Segovia might be armed and preparing to shoot him. Valente recalled he was hiding for maybe 30 seconds when Segovia saw him and then asked, "Why are you kicking it with these fools?" Valente answered, "Why are you fucking with these guys? They're just drunk." Segovia and Valente had been talking for 30 seconds at least when Aguilar ran up and shot Segovia once in the head. After the shooting, Valente ran towards his house. He passed his cousins on the street and they ran after him. He was the first to arrive home, followed by his cousins, then Aguilar, and finally Rios. Valente testified the men were all very quiet and everyone seemed to be in shock. Valente didn't know what happened to the gun after the shooting. Valente ultimately pled guilty to 1 count of accessory after the fact and admitted to a criminal street gang sentencing enhancement. He was placed on 3 years formal probation during his sentencing hearing on June 26 as part of a plea agreement. LAPD officer Rene Gonzalez testified as the people's gang expert. In addition to his training and experience regarding gangs generally, Gonzalez had served on the task force specifically investigating the Harpies gang. Gonzalez testified Rios had tattoos identifying him as a member of Harpies, specifically the Fifth Avenue clique, and Aguilar had tattoos identifying him as a member of the Hobart gang. Following the trial, the jury found Oscar Aguilar and Esau Rios guilty of first-degree murder and of shooting at an occupied vehicle, including gun and gang allegations. The court sentenced Aguilar as a third-strike offender to an indeterminate term of 100 years to life. Rios was sentenced to an indeterminate term of 50 years to life. Carlos Segovia Lopez was 19 years old at the time of death.